Hello crafters, it's Dawn here from Dawn's Inspirations. I wanted to share another quick mini album with you. This was a request from Jean, one of my scrapbook ladies. She made the Place in Time mini album birthday book with me along on the YouTube video, and I know a lot of you have also made the same album, and to make this album we use the Craft 8x8 cards. Now Jean's request was that she's now got the white envelopes from the packs left and wasn't sure what to do with them. So I've come up with a really quick mini album using just 4 of the large envelopes. Now the envelopes that I've used are coming in just over 8.5 by 8.5 square, but you could make this project with any square envelopes that you've got left laying around. So I'm just going to use 4 of them here. The other thing I'm going to use to make this album is a freebie paper collection. This came from Simply Cards and Paper Crafting. It came a while ago now and I hadn't used it. I tend to put these things aside and then come up with something to do with them. This is a hot off the press paper collection called Homegrown, and you had 8 sheets of double-sided pattern papers, 8x8 size, and 2 sheets of paper flowers and tags as well. So all I did was use everything out of this pad, and as you can see I've used every scrap of it. The only thing that I've got left are 2 flowers. That's all I've got left out of that whole paper kit. So if you've got this paper collection, dig it out, get yourself 4 of the 8x8 square envelopes. If you know these are a bit bigger, but you can use 6x6, you could use 5x5, entirely up to you, but a great little project. And then I also used 8 sheets of 12x12 cardstock as well to make this mini album. So let me go ahead and show you what I've made. So I'll just put these to one side. This is the mini album that I've made, and I've gone right back to my scrapbooking roots with this. As you can see, it's a nice sturdy album, stands alone on its own. So, and that's just made out of 4 of the envelopes and the paper collection. So on the front here I've made some of the flowers and layered them up and put some tags. There was a strip of borders in the paper collection, I've cut those up, and some of these die cut elements as well I've layered up, so I can, on here, when I decide what I'm going to put in the album, I can sort of write on here what I'm going to put in here. But I think this album's got a nice sort of country vintage feel to it. This is the back page. I've used the same pattern paper on the back page as the front page, and then I just put a border strip and a little die cut on there, and I thought on there I'll just put created by Dawn. Now as you can see, obviously the paper from the paper collection is 8x8, but the envelopes are measuring just over 8.5 by 8.5. So that is why I've used the cardstock behind to matte and layer it. That acts as 2 things. Number 1, it's matting and layering it, so I've not got too much of the white cards showing, but also by matting and layering it, it's making the pages really sturdy. I mean, it's a really sturdy mini album, so it's making it nice and sturdy by adding that extra cardstock. So if I just show you what I've done, so that's the front and back page, and then on the inside I've gone right back to my scrapbooking roots, because I do love scrapbooking. So I've made this album purely that you could give away, and somebody could just cut down their 6x4 photographs and add them into this album. So on each page there's a sheet of cardstock behind, which gives it the firmness, and then all these elements are all out of the paper collection. Here I haven't stuck this fully down so you can slide a photo down. So I've just added the photo mats, I've put some faux stitching around some faux doodling around the others, so purely somebody can just go ahead and add their photos to this. As I said, I've used 8 sheets of 12x12 cardstock, but from that 12x12 cardstock I've got each of the page bases and then also I've been able to cut the 2 photo mats to put on that page, but I've mixed and matched the colours as I go through. The photo mats are coming in at 5.5 by 3.5, so you can cut down a 6x4 photograph quite easily and pop those inside there. So as you can see, every page is slightly different. On here I've got some vertical and some horizontal photo mats. On here I've gone for all 4 verticals. Now, as you can see, by just using this paper pad and coordinating it with the cardstock, you've got a great little mini. And on here I've gone for all horizontal photo mats. So it's a great little mini, very nice and sturdy, made with the 4 envelopes and a paper collection and some cardstock. So I'll go ahead with you and show you how we put this together. So all you're going to need is your envelopes and some wet glue to start. I'm just using Cal-Al, but use a glue of your choice, entirely your decision. Going to open the envelope out, because this is going to be my joining one on the back page. I'm not doing any extra scoring on this to make it any bigger at all. It doesn't need it, because I've kept the pages inside quite flat. So your first envelope you're going to lay open like this. The next envelope you do exactly the same, but you're going to fold it back on itself, and by doing that we're then going to line up the creases, and we're going to stick this flap to this flap, but we'll leave this one blank until the end. So I'll just show you what we're going to do. So I'm lining up my two lines. So just take your time to get this lined up, and then I'm just going to put some wet glue on the envelope bit itself. You could glue the whole thing, because we're not opening it. This album I've really gone right back to the scrapbook page roots. I've got no pockets, no flaps, nothing. But with this idea, I've only used 4 envelopes here. You could obviously excuse me, you could quite easily add pockets and flaps to it, but I just wanted to show you a really basic album using some envelopes and a freebie paper pack. So that's the first page. We then lay that page back. This flap is still here from envelope 1. We now get envelope 3, fold it back on itself again the same, lay it up on inside here, again put the glue. So you haven't got to worry about a hinge system with this album at all either. You've not got to worry about doing extra score lines to fit all the extra embellishments, because I've kept the embellishments fairly flat. So as I say, it's a really quick album to put together. We then fold that page back. We've still got this back flap here from envelope 1. We're now going in with our 4th envelope. Fold it back on itself, line it up ready, fold it over. As I say, you could cover the whole thing with wet glue because I'm not doing any pockets. And then the final piece now, put the wet glue on there. I mean, I've done this with 4 pages, and I did it with 4 pages on purpose because that's as much paper as I had in the freebie paper collection to cover enough for 4 pages. But obviously if you've got an 8x8 pattern paper pad with some embellishments in it, you could do even more pages. What you would probably have to watch is that your spine doesn't get too bulky. So that is literally all you do. So there are your pages all ready to be filled with some photo mats and some pattern paper. This is my wet glue coming through. I'm just rubbing that off so it doesn't stick. So that's as easy as it is. That is your album base. Now obviously, as I said again, if you wanted to go ahead and add flaps and pockets, you can, because this is an envelope. So if you wanted to open up the top or open up the sides, you can do. I just wanted to give you a quick basic album that you could work with. So that's the basic, and as I said, from that I've used a sheet of 12 by 12 cardstock. I've cut my photo mats, each of my photo mats, let me just measure one of these for you. They are coming in at just under 8.5 by just under 8.5. I've done it so I've got a little bit of white showing all the way around the edge. So what you do, say this is a sheet of my 12 by 12 cardstock, I literally cut just under the 8.5 line to make my square, and then these panels left here is what I've used then to make my photo mats, and then I've just rounded those with a corner punch and then taken all the embellishments out of the paper collection to decorate each page. So it's a great little mini. It's only 4 pages, but you've got 4, 8, 12 6 by 4 photos you can add into there, and then you've got your nice front and back cover. So perfect little mini album using 4 of the envelopes left over and a paper collection, and the only thing I had left was 2 more flowers. But a great little project. So if you too have got envelopes left, do go ahead and make yourselves a little mini. And if you haven't got any of the 8 by 8 size, as I say, as long as they're square envelopes, you can do it 6 by 6, you can do it 5 by 5, but a perfect quick little project that doesn't take too much time. It took me an afternoon in total, and the fact that you're using leftover envelopes and a freebie paper collection makes it a great cheap project too. So I'm Dawn from Dawn's Inspirations. I do hope you've enjoyed this quick video tutorial, and you too can go ahead and make a quick little mini in an afternoon. It's a cracking little project and will take you no time at all, and great to give away as a gift, as it's perfect to put your 6 by 4 photographs in. Bye bye for now.